Can a guy just eat a hot meal in peace?
Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
You gotta be doing the drum beat, not the...
They call themselves the Bad Batch.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Bad Batch-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with
are-
Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 3, The Solitary Clone. And Drew did not mess up the intro this time. It's been a while since he...
I know, I was actually acting like I was going to drink in the middle of it. Just for
Oh,
fun.
gosh. But yes, Bad Batch.
The Solitary Clone. That's a name, dude.
It is a good... It was a good name for the episode.
For the episode.
And I thought it was an amazing episode.
Oh, wow. You're just going to go out
We're jumping in.
huh?
We're jumping in it. I
Jeremiah just
really
wants to dive right in.
really like this episode.
I didn't open my Red Bull or anything yet. Jeez, okay. No, I did.
Yep. So I thought it was a perfect episode in every way. The visuals were amazing. The music, the pacing, the story. I thought it was just spot on. Everything I wanted from a Bad Batch episode. Drew, you hated it, didn't you?
No, I actually liked it.
Okay, gotcha.
What's wrong with
Did
my
you watch it
stomach?
last night?
I watched it like 30, 40 minutes ago. I forgot to watch it last night.
Oh gosh. But yeah,
Hey,
I watched it
on time.
I watched it twice yesterday afternoon. I probably should have watched it a third time just to refresh my memory, but I didn't. But
I mean, I watched it not too long ago, so I really liked it. I think the hard part about waiting a day to watch it is everyone was like, Cody, oh, like Cody's the best. I was like, oh, wait, okay, chill. Chill.
no, I really thought it was, I don't know, I like what they did with Cody because
Oh, I loved what they did with Cody.
because it's kind of like for so long
Mm-hmm.
Cody was seen like as a bad guy because he
Mhm.
just immediately did Order 66 and tried to kill Obi-Wan, and like we
Right.
haven't heard anything from him since, and like everyone just kind of sure with like the whole biochip background that we learned in Clone Wars, like we're more sympathetic, but like Cody was kind of seen as a bad guy post Revenge of the Sith release. So it's like he's had hot like that was 2005, so this is 18 years he's been a kind of seen as a bad guy
Mm-hmm.
in the end, but here he's not. He's a sympathetic character that, you know, we've been talking about how like the biochip seems
They
to
don't
be,
work no more.
it seems to be wearing off, and
Yep.
so like it's cool to see that it's wearing off on him and that he's to the point, and then at the end of the episode, spoilers, he goes AWOL, so he chooses
Yeah.
to leave, which
Well,
kind of gutsy.
and like I like it because they brought this character that, like you said, like everyone is like we all didn't like Cody up until like literally this episode, like forever, for years.
Right.
Like
And it's
people's
like-
fandom is built to not like Cody at this point. Like there's probably people out there that didn't watch this and still don't like Cody
Right.
and don't realize that Cody is actually not who he was. Like, and the chip, like clearly we all know the chip made them do things, but like for some reason people still didn't like Cody. Like Cody still has like that thing he did to Obi-Wan, you know? So
Yeah.
like
It's kind of like even like watching Clone Wars, like Cody is in there throughout with Obi-Wan and all that stuff, and like
and
he's
everyone's
a,
like
he's a good guy, but like you're always like,
uh,
but even though we
but
know
we-
every single clone's gonna do it, For some reason, we all hate Cody, but
Yeah, it's just like it was like in our fandom to like not like Cody, and now that we are allowed to, it's kind of refreshing. And I like you said, I like the way they went with it. It was really cool, and I like the way they brought in this character that we all hate to potentially bring back a character that we still want to save. And I
well,
think that's interesting.
I kind of don't want Crosshair to be saved, but
I want him to be saved.
it seems like he's moving in that direction, which
Yeah. And like, okay, so like throughout the episode, I was thinking like maybe that guy, he's on a moth, right? What's his name?
the governor,
No,
uh,
the other dude. The guy
well,
that calls all the shots.
you mean
Who
Tarkin?
no, like the guy right under Tarkin who didn't want everyone to realize that.
Oh, Rampart.
Yeah, Rampart. Like I was like thinking like before like we got to the end of this episode, I'm like, what if Rampart, because he left Crosshair there for how many, like he didn't want Crosshair to survive. So from that, I was like, oh, maybe Rampart is like secretly actually like a good guy. And Rampart is like playing both sides at this point. Like he doesn't.
No.
But then definitely not now. Nah, at the end of it, I'm like, nope, never mind.
Well, he killed the guy at the end of that last episode.
Yeah, but it was like in a way to cover himself. Not
That's still a bad guy.
that's
Like,
a rebel thing. That's like a rebel thing to do, you know.
I don't know, he could have said, "Hey, we're gonna fake this because I'm a good guy." Like, he could
Yeah, but
have.
the guy wasn't.
I don't know.
That clone wasn't. Not that clone wasn't necessarily bad. He was just doing his duties, but like, I don't know. Like there was potential for me to like maybe think he's maybe like a rebel, but I don't think that anymore. Not at the end of this episode. You realize no.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I doubt that Rampart's because he's done pretty terrible things for a while.
No, I don't think he's good anymore because at the end of the episode,
Right.
you realize like he just doesn't like the clones. I think that's more than
Well,
anything.
even last season he was like he just hated him, and
I kind of forget all that stuff that happened last season, honestly, like a lot of it. So
like I wonder. Now going back to the chip, like I wonder if it was purposely programmed to like slowly fade off, so that all these clones they're like defecting and like going AWOL, and that's like causes okay. This is why we need stormtroopers and this because like in the episode they talk about like the two clones that are at the dinner table. They're saying like, hey, there's what do they call it? The where did I have it? Defense bill or something like defense recruitment bill.
yep,
Like they were
they're
going,
starting to recruit people.
yeah. So that's going up to like the Senate to be like up for like a vote to like really take over. Like it's a defense recruitment bill. That's what I have in my notes. So like
Mm-hmm.
I think that they started last season experimenting with recruits, but like they want to like make it like an official
Like a
imperial,
draft,
like
essentially.
kind of like an imperial thing where like anyone in the galaxy can join. And so
Yep.
like I wonder how
And
much of the chip thing is intentional, like if it was intentional or if it just happens to like accidentally fade out. I don't know.
I feel like I honestly do think it was intentional because they went and destroyed Camino in a sense to like cover their tracks and to keep producing clones outside of that. I feel like it wouldn't work to cover their tracks.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
think so too. Yeah, I
so
agree.
I think it was probably like honestly like the chip worked once kind of thing, and then
Right.
it has some lingering things, but I think Palpatine knew it wasn't gonna survive forever because the way they're going about it, it just doesn't feel like it's gonna keep working.
Right.
And how do you get a whole group of like all these people if you don't get recruits from these planets to join you? You know,
Right.
because though, like, I mean, not to beat a dead horse here or dead tauntaun, I should say. But like in Lost Stars, like the reason why a lot of the people are still supporting the Empire even towards the end is because they have children and family that are part of the Empire.
Right.
And so like the main character, her parents are going through literally torture at this planet, but her daughter is part of the Empire, so they still have to abide, and they, even though their whole planet is going to rebel, like it says like literally becoming nothing because they mined it to nothing. Like they can't push back, and they don't want to push back because their daughter is involved.
Right.
So it kind of has that, like, I think that's kind of what Palpatine was going for. It was like, not everyone can turn on me if I keep instead of making a bunch of clones that no one has any personal ties to.
Right.
So it makes sense. But
And we remember from the trailer, we do have a Senate scene with Palpatine, so maybe this
that's probably when
recruitment bill will be next episode or something where it's him trying to sway the Senate to vote on this. So we'll definitely have to wait and see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But
overall, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed, like, people like they liked it. Like there's people online and saying like they enjoyed this episode, but then it felt like it wasn't Bad Batch because they weren't Bad Batch in this episode. But for me, it's
whatever.
like it builds the story so well. Like I'm okay. It was refreshing not to have the Bad Batch there. Like we don't need them for this storyline. And at the end of the day,
the thing is, Crosshair is a Bad Batch member, so like people need to calm down.
Yeah, I mean, people just they need to chill.
Right, and so like even like last season with there's that 2-episode arc on Ryloth with Hera and the Syndulas and stuff. Like that first episode, we didn't see the Bad Batch until like the last like few minutes.
True. Yeah,
and like that was one of the best episodes.
I know
so,
people did hate on that episode
whatever.
too.
People need to take a chill pill. But let's jump into scene by scene. We are introduced to a new planet, Desix. It's like a desert planet. I really like the look of this planet, even though, like, because it's more like desolate.
Yeah.
Where like it was more like a looked like Mars, kind of like it was a reddish brown dirt. And I really like that whole like city, like on top of that. I don't know my geography, plateau or whatever, cliff thing.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Jabba's palace, like design.
Right. And like, I don't know, I thought it was just a good look, and it was just cool seeing people just working out in the fields and living life. And like at first, like you think, oh, okay, this is like a slave community or something, like, but then immediately you find out that no, they're just living their lives independently from the Empire, because when the Imperials come, they're like, hey, we're taking over. They're like, no, we're not. No, you're not. Like this, we're on our own people. Like we're independent. And so the governor of the city or whatever, the leader, her name is Tawny Ames. And so a new character. Now, later on in the episode, she says she worked with Mina Bonteri, which is Padme's friend from in Clone Wars, when Padme snuck over to the Separatist whatever to like work with like a treaty to like end the war. And she worked with Mina Bonteri, which was Lux Bonteri's mother, and Lux Bonteri was Ahsoka's crush.
Oh,
so there's a scene.
There's a bigger tie there.
Yeah, so there's a scene in that story where Padme goes to the Separatist planet or whatever, and Mina Bonteri is there with like all the Separatist leaders, and they want to take a vote.
Yep.
So like, I wonder if this Tawny Ames is like in a background character that we could like point out, like, oh, there she is.
Probably.
It'd be cool to go back to check this.
I mean, if you think of Dave Filoni, possible.
And so, I don't know. I thought that was just really cool that she's a Separatist You know, like in the Clone Wars, the Separatists, you know, they're seen as the bad guys, but here she's the good guy, the good gal, and so the you know, looking back in hindsight, we should have probably all rooted for the Separatists, but that's a whole nother.
That's a fun debate.
That's a fun debate. I mean, that's a cantina discussion. Were the Separatists right, or right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so the Imperials are like, you know, we're not going to take your request to be independent. Like we're here to take over and relieve you of your duty. I'm the guy, Governor Groton. He's like, I'm going to take over now. But Tiny Ames is like, no. She pushes her wrist, a button on her wrist, and all these B1 battle droids show up and surround him. I'm like, dang, this is cool. Like I miss my B1 battle buddies.
Roger.
And like it was the first time we ever heard one like he did like a like a that hum sound. Like I've never. This is kind of funny.
Or like more feisty and
yeah,
high fiving each other after they make shots and
yeah,
stuff.
That
like,
was funny.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we see like droids. They kind of take on personality traits of those who are their leaders or owners, and so. Like,
well, and it seemed like they're a little bit more free droids than
right,
normal.
and so this goes to show, like, you know, these people of Desix, they're good people, they're happy people, they're content with that, and so that reflects on the droids where they're more, you know, yes, they're following orders, like they're holding the guy hostage and stuff, but like they're happier, they're in a better mood, they have more camaraderie with one another. I thought it was just a cool detail that they put in there. So that happens, but then we see Crosshair. He's in his living quarter, and he just kind of wakes up in his bedroom. This episode is very reminiscent of Agent Callus when he turned to the rebels side, because he was we see multiple scenes with him in his bedroom by himself, like just kind of thinking and pondering and kind of the mundanity of it all. And so that is pointing to a parallel. So like I think that, yeah, Crosshair is eventually gonna go AWOL and become a good guy, but how long is it? I'm like, hurry up.
Long. You keep going. I stopped early.
But yeah, so he goes to breakfast, and which I'm assuming was breakfast. I don't know, because they had like a turkey leg or something. Like you don't eat turkey legs or chicken legs for breakfast, but
maybe it was lunch. Maybe it was dinner.
Maybe it was lunch.
He just woke up.
Maybe just woke up. Possibly he was an afternoon nap for dinner or something. But yeah, he sits down at a table with two other clones, and two clones look at him, and
porgs are good all times of day, I guess. So
yeah, that porg that Chewie was roasting looked pretty good. Looked pretty good, but yes. So they look over at Crosshair and get up and leave. I'm like, okay, people don't like him. Like, we don't know why really exactly, other than this, he's just different. He looks different. He acts different. Blah blah blah. But while he's about to eat his lunch or dinner or whatever, he gets a PA system like call to him to see Admiral Rampart in his office. And so yeah, he kind of just tells them, you know, we were going to use you on a mission about this city on Desix that is we got Imperial soldiers and a governor are being held hostage, blah blah blah, we're going to send you in. So he thought he was in charge, but like, because that's what he's used to been doing as an Imperial guy. But he's under the command of someone, like we're all gonna be like, okay, it's probably Cody, but I was wondering if it was gonna be someone else, just kind of like, I gotcha, like, not Cody yet, you gotta wait. But
yeah,
but it was Cody. And so, but we do at this instant realize that, or we're told that Crosshair was stranded on that platform in Camino for 32 rotations. Now, that's
32 days.
That's 32 Kaminoan days, which I'm guessing, I don't know my time stuff. Is a rotation like an imperial standard? Or is it like, or is a
I think
rotation just a day for whatever that specific planet is? I don't know.
Oh, true.
But either way,
It made it seem like it was imperial standards, like shifts. You
right.
know?
But either way, if it's 32 days, how did he survive on that platform with the
nothing.
rainstorms? Like,
Or nothing to eat
right.
or drink. I guess
There's
water.
a lot of water. We don't know if it's salt water or if it's fresh water.
Well,
but
if it's rain, you can catch
if
it.
it's raining, yeah. But it's like, I just don't know how you could like survive. 'Cause, like, the one wave lands on that platform, like you're toast. Like, but who knows?
Maybe
There might have been debris and stuff like floating around that he could have like used to like do something with. But
he's eating the clones.
Oh, there weren't any bodies though. They were all evacuated.
Oh, true. Oh.
Maybe some dead Kaminoans floating around. But
either way, he survived.
He survived for a long time. But he's sent on this mission, and he meets up with Cody, who is be the commanding officer of this mission.
Wait, we missed a part though, because what he said after, he was like alluding to that he didn't want him to survive.
What do you mean?
Like Rampart, right?
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like he was alluding to that he was like surprised that he survived.
Yeah.
Like, it also didn't seem happy to see him. It didn't seem like he wanted him to survive.
Well, I think it was a surprise that he survived because it was 32 days, but he also knows that Crosshair lied about the Bad Batch surviving or being killed.
Oh, true. Well, so you think he said that? Like, you think he said that, or did he just assume they died because he thought Crosshair died too? So he thought everyone.
Well, he just assumed that, but the fact that Crosshair didn't tell him, "Oh, hey, the Bad Batch are still alive,"
but maybe he's been like in a coma for 32 days, or this is literally 32 days later.
No, because he says he was medically cleared to join combat again.
Yeah.
So he's been in recovery for quite a while, and it's been quite a while since, because we know Omega has matured in her look.
True.
So it's been a while. So it's probably been like at least 6 months. So he was probably super like
injured
and dehydrated and
but
malnourished.
So like maybe as soon as like before they found him, they just assumed that they all died, and that's what he put in his report.
Yeah, but Crosshair has been awake long enough to say, "Hey, the Bad Batch are still alive."
True, but as we know, he doesn't want people to know. So maybe,
right, and so he's probably wants Crosshair to die in combat.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like he keeps putting Crosshair. It seems like he's putting Crosshair in situations where he's not supposed to survive.
Well, he's starting to, yeah.
Because also, like, another thing was like they only shipped one ship to go get that dude, but then like right after they got him, like there were so many that came. So it was like, why didn't they send that much right away?
Well, I think they wanted to do it more subtle, because if they all showed up, then they would probably just kill the governor. Like,
that's true.
Like when you're surrounded by thousands of troopers, like you're just gonna kind of like go on like a kamikaze mission. But like by doing it subtle like that, it would kind of. That's
true.
Plus, they originally said, "Oh, we're a diplomatic coming on a diplomat to like negotiate terms," which obviously was a lie. But they're trying to do it subtly. They're not. The Empire still doesn't.
In Cody's defense, it wasn't. He actually was.
Yes, but that was never Rampart's intent. Like he was hoping that.
Oh yeah.
They would be taken out, but I think that the Empire still wants to be perceived as good, so they can't have large moments of invasion at this point.
Yeah, not
They
yet.
still wanted things like, no, like these people, they attacked us. Like
Yeah.
we were sending a diplomatic ship to
To
negotiate
Alderaan,
hostage
like what?
negotiations, and then they shot down our ship, and like so we had to like retaliate against them. Like so, it's trying to paint a narrative
Mm-hmm.
that makes it look like the Empire was the victim in this moment,
Yeah.
and so
Diplomatic ship to Alderaan.
yes, from Alderaan, not to
From
Alderaan.
Alderaan.
But yes, so he meets up with Cody, who has his new armor. Like he has like the gray armor,
Mm-hmm.
which was interesting to see him like because we were used to seeing him in the yellowish orange. But yes, so I
Do
don't
you
know.
like it or?
I like the look of it. I thought it was pretty cool. He kind of looked like the Wolfpack colors and stuff,
True.
which is nice. But so this facility, military facility, I feel like this was the prison that was repurposed and turned into a military base, like the one where Ahsoka escapes from. Like I don't know.
Maybe, I don't
It
know.
looked very similar, like where they kind of met, where that what was it called? The battle memorial was
Yep.
there. Like it looks like that was just added into that space. Because like where that space was looks very similar to that where the prison escape was.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there's a battle memorial, which I want someone to translate all the stuff said on that wall, like
Yeah, like
because
all the
normally,
names.
because I'm guessing it's just names of clones that have been killed, but like I feel like that wall is not big enough for as many clones have been killed.
Maybe it's just like commanders.
Maybe or like certain battles or something.
Yeah.
But
Also, like they're all numbers.
right, but I didn't reckon like they seemed like they're letters, not numbers on this wall. Because the numbers they look kind of like English numbers, just kind of stylized a little bit.
Mm.
But I don't know. But yeah, so like I wonder like what the point of this wall is, like because they had like clone troopers like as like huge statues like on both sides of it or something like that. So
It's probably
it was
just
just
like a giant slab of dead people.
oh gosh, but
Like,
yeah. So they met there and um Cody just kind of brought up the point that like a lot of clones are defecting and questioning things and Crosshair's like, well, then they're traitors just like the Jedi, and that kind of like shocked Cody. And like that's the moment we see Cody's like, oh, something's going on with Cody. He's not as under control of the chip as he was before.
Yep.
And so because he kind of
Because
like was
he
surprised by
heard
that
about
statement.
the. So what do you say? He heard that Clone Force 99 defected,
Right.
and he said, "Not you." And then he said, "Well, you guys were designed differently on purpose."
Right.
So like he knew that they were supposed to be different, but then Crosshair was still there.
Right.
And then they talked about Rex too. So
Right. So this is where we get the first little crack in Cody, like, oh, something's going on. But then it goes back to Desix, where Tawny Ames is talking with the governor, and she kind of goes on this thing about, Dooku was right all along about what was going to happen. Like he knew that the Republic was going to turn into an empire or something like that, and so, like, she seemed to paint. I don't know. It was kind of confusing because she was like he was right, but I couldn't tell if she was like on his side or not because she still saw him as like maybe evil in the end. I don't know. It's kind of. I like that scene. I gotta go watch it again. But there's a lot to say about Dooku was right in so many ways about the corruption of the Republic, and like that's why she joined him in the first place was because he's like, yeah, he's right, and then the Empire, the Republic turns into the Empire. And it's like, if the Separatists won the war, the Empire would have never come, type of thing. So
yep.
it's a very interesting scenario to play out. But she has can reprogram these battle droids because like obviously all the battle droids were turned off at the end of the war, but she must have reprogrammed them, and so I thought it was interesting that the tactical droid was a female voice. I don't know if you noticed that different voice than we're used to because it's usually a more male voice.
Yep.
And so this was a female one persona on this, which is interesting to hear that. So I wonder if that's because it was reprogrammed by a female. If like,
maybe
that, we were talking about how droids reflect their masters. So I wonder if that has to do with it, or
it's possible,
or if you can just kind of download
whatever
voice,
you want.
whatever voice.
Well, it's like Siri, you can change.
GPSs can be different voices.
Well, like my Siri is well, actually, I think it's a girl now, but it was a guy for a while. You can just change whatever voice. So maybe it's something like that. You can just it's less scary. A female voice is less intimidating to like the public,
right?
So maybe when she was probably trying to convince everyone to keep the droids, even though everyone told him to not.
Right.
So.
Right. So then while they're having this discussion, the diplomatic ship comes with Crosshair and Cody and the squad, and just kind of tells them to commence an attack of defense. And so some B-1 droids get some rocket launchers and take out the ship, and then the final hit is a droid tank, and takes it out, and they crash. So that was exciting. I thought it was a fun scene. I thought that the pilot was going to make a little bit better effort of getting out of the way. He just kind of got wrecked really easily, but what are you going to do? So they crash land. Some droids go out to check. Oh, they're all dead. Yay. But they weren't. And they all kill all the battle droids. And they see there's a tank on the ramp up into the city, so they have to deal with the tank. And so Crosshair does this cool thing where he just takes out the tank by himself with a sniper, which I really liked how, because he had his sights on the tank, like on the barrel. So I knew what he was going to do. He's going to shoot down the barrel of the thing. Okay, we get that. But I thought it was really cool how, because it's like a straight line from his gun to the barrel, like if it's not aiming down the barrel of the tank, the shots aren't going to hit him. So he wasn't worried at all. And it was really cool how they changed, they missed and they changed it and missed again. And he was never scared because it was never right down. So he was never going to get a hit. So like, I thought that was...
I also liked that part too, because at first I thought because he hasn't been in battle for so long, that his shot was bad. Like at first when I was watching, I was like, dude, he's rusty. Like he keeps missing all of them, but he was doing it on purpose to get them to point at him more.
Right.
Instead of just dropping them all, he could have just kept shooting them all, and then that one guy probably wouldn't have had to aim, because the other droid was like, "Oh, he's 3 clicks or whatever." He said like he helped direct the guy to shoot him right, and then he shot it right in the middle. I'm like, never mind, his shot's fine. He's good.
Yeah. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And so then after that happens, the clones, they go to the city and they break their way in. Like they destroy all these droids.
And then we get a droid.
Well, that's once they enter into the city.
Yeah, once they enter.
So they get into the city, take out all these droids, but then they split up, kind of to split the forces a little bit, which is the smartest thing to do. And Crosshair and Cody, they run into family, right? It was like a mother son, I think it was, maybe. Like, and he's like, "Oh, we're here to help. Like, it's okay. Like, blah blah blah." Like, but clearly, like, they don't want clones. They don't want their empire, and so it's like him saying that, like, they don't care, but he thinks he's actually there to help them.
He doesn't. He's like not realizing.
Right.
It also seems like maybe he has not been on a lot of missions. Like,
No, I
For
think
him
he
to,
has been.
but they just been people that
They're just
are
blatantly like
okay.
anti-imperial, but
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah. So he's like, we're here to help, but they don't buy it, so they just keep going. But then that's when they get
Well, they
attacked
shut
by.
the door on them. Like,
Oh, right. And so then this is when the droidicas show up, which I thought was cool how they first did it because you could hear them
mm-hmm.
circling around. Like I thought that was a cool way to introduce them. Like they could have let it play out a little bit longer, where like they're just like waiting, like you just keep hearing them
Yeah, like
for
they
like.
kept looking around in circles and stuff.
I thought they could have played it out a little bit longer, but it was cool either way. But R.I.P. that first guy that got wrecked.
Oh yeah.
It was like 10 point blank range right in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like that guy's not getting up anytime soon.
Nope.
But they deal with the droidicas. Use the grenades. They uh, first the guy misses, like he rolls it too fast and it hits the shield. But then once it rolls at him, he kind of does a quick throw up before the shield gets up again. So destroys it that way. But I really like the cool trick shot with throwing the grenade on the B1 droid.
Yeah, and then shooting them and having them fall in.
Fall
That was
into
so cool,
that
dude.
was,
I want to see that in live action, bro. That
that,
was such a cool, like, little. I
it's
mean,
so
because we
smart. Like
so smart, and we've been seeing them kill these guys for years now, right? In the
right,
Clone Wars, like, and somehow Dave Filoni still made this scene look rememberable. Like we were used to seeing clones kill these droids, but at the same time, it's so unique and different. And I thought that was really clever. When I
right.
saw that, I was like, dude, that was so cool. Like, how have we not seen that before? Like, that was so cool. And maybe we have, and I just forgot, but I don't think
Now
we
they
have.
made it intentionally. Like,
That was
look at this
so
cool
cool.
thing. So,
Yeah, that was so dope.
but yeah, so they continue on more into the building or whatever, and commando droids show up, and I love commando droids. They're so cool.
They're scary, bro.
They are scary, but uh, R.I.P. Nova, who all of his grenades drop and blow up. So that was kind of sad to see him go. But they work
Also,
their
really cool name, dude.
Nova,
Nova? That's
and
so
then
dope.
and then what was the other guy's name? The guy that got it was the first guy that got wrecked by the droidica. I had it in the Discord because I remember we're talking about it. Let me see if I can find it. So it was a W.
Will.
Will. um, um, Weiler. That's what it was. And
Not as
so
close, Nova though. That name
not
is so
Nova.
cool.
That's good. You can name a kid that Nova, a girl Nova.
Either.
I don't know a guy male named Nova.
That's a clone. Is a male. His name is Nova.
That's a nick. I don't know. That's a nick. Oh, I guess you got me there. Yeah, but
But I do notice that a lot of clones' names are like dog names. That's like a dog's name, Nova. I probably have a friend.
wasn't that a car? Like from like the 70s, a Nova.
Probably.
Chad, look it up. Was there a car from the 70s or 80s called a Nova? I don't remember what brand it was.
Nova Impala.
Something like that.
It's probably like a station wagon.
No, something maybe, I don't know. But
Chat, help us out.
anyway,
We're not gearheads apparently.
no. And so they take on the commandos, but then they gotta like work their way up the spiral staircase with these commando droids coming down, and Crosshair uses his mirror thing, which is really cool. Like it makes sense, like to reflect the shot, like, but like the whole thing where it bounces off multiple people, like that doesn't make sense. But it's still cool either way. So they're working their way up. So he throws one up. I like the first one because like the commando droid looks at it like, what's this thing? It's like a mirror, and he just shoots it. But work their way up. At one point, Cody and Crosshair are kind of doing hand-to-hand combat with.
They get surrounded. They get pinned.
Yeah, because
in this
they're
staircase.
going down the commando droids are going down the stairs, but then they realize this isn't working, so they like climb up into the ceiling of the stairs, and so like they try to go up and they're not there, and they look up and they jump down on them, and that's how they surprise them. But Cody was able to kill one with his knife, like electro knife, whatever they're called, and then kills the other one by throwing
blade,
it.
Right?
No, because it wasn't vibrating. It was I don't know. I don't know.
It kind of looked like it, but I don't. Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know my knife, my Star Wars knives. But
did you notice it was the colors of his old? The hilt was orange, like an orange, white. So he still kept that.
That's cool. I didn't notice that, but that's cool. But yes, so it seems like because just the two of them, and they're kind of like feel like they're getting outmatched now. But like Cody was because Crosshair was almost choked to death, so he was like getting in rough shape. But Cody's like, I'll go up there and take it on all myself. But Crosshair's like, no, I just need a line of sight. And he's like, just throw the mirror puck thing as far as you can, and I'll get it done. And so, like, this was probably the coolest trick shot like we've seen, because he waits for the mirror to spin, and then right when it sees the tackle droid, he shoots.
Yeah,
I thought that was really.
It was pretty cool.
A hard shot to make.
It's definitely a unique Crosshair shot.
Yeah, but he always it seems like every year or every year, every iteration of Crosshair we see him make some cool shots. So
yeah, he made 2 amazing shots in this episode, so
right,
because even he said to Cody, he's like, nice throw, and he's like, nice shot, because that was not intentional for him to get shot like that in the shoulder. And
yeah, that's right. Cody did get hit in the shoulder.
He got shot as he was about to throw it, and it didn't go where he wanted, but he made it work.
Yeah, and so they get up there, and Tiny Ames has Governor Groton held hostage, and it's kind of like
at gunpoint, right?
At gunpoint, and so she's like fearful for her life, and she's like, I tried to do negotiations and peace talks and stuff with Mina Bonteri, blah blah blah, like nothing's working, like there's no way out of this type of thing. And so Cody starts to negotiate with her, like, because he takes off his helmet, puts down his gun, like, hey, we don't need any war, we don't need conflict, like, look, we can do this, end this peacefully, and we can figure this out. And sees Cody's compassion and lets the Groton go and puts down her gun. And then Groton's like, all right, kill her. And Cody's like, no, like, I promised her a peaceful way out of this. And he's like, well, that's what you said, but that's not what I said. I'm in charge here. And then eventually Crosshair is the one that takes the shot, which we knew was going to happen. But it was still rough. Like, she was shot with fear in her eyes. Like, she knew it was going to happen.
Well, and she said, what did she say?
She said so much for peace or something like that.
Yeah, I was really hoping she was going to try to shoot at him.
Well, she already threw down her gun, so it's like...
I know.
But it was just kind of sad.
But you could tell that Cody was like, his heart was like pulling from
him. Because like it reminded me of the Tales of the Jedi episode with Yaddle, when she's laying on the ground, like, all this for what you call order, and he's like, well, then I'll give you peace, and then Dooku kills Yaddle. Yep. Which was interesting because she was defending Dooku earlier in the episode, but then kind of gets killed in the same fashion. And so, yeah, And then the governor or Grutton is like, "Well, put her body in the town square so people can see an example of what happens when you." I guess this is rough. Like this is like a kid show apparently, but yeah. So they leave, and then as the clones are leaving the city, the Empire comes with their Star Destroyer thing, and stormtroopers, they start filing in and they take over the planet. And Cody, I really like the scene because it was really drawn out, and it was just Cody watching
Yep.
like the whole thing being taken over, and you can tell like this is not good. Like this is not what I signed up for, even though he didn't sign up. But
Correct.
like this is not what
But
I'm
you
about.
remember he says, what did he say about? He's like, the difference between droids and clones is
Well,
that
we're
able.
getting into that
Oh,
scene. So yes, in the next scene, they get back on Coruscant, and the clones are going back into the facility, and they're standing. Cody's standing at or forget who was standing at the memorial first, and then the other one walks in. But you know, Cody does say
yeah,
this.
I
Like there's a
forget.
difference. The big difference between droids and us is that we make our own choices and decisions. And then he's saying this Crosshair, and then as he's walking by Crosshair, he says, "But we also have to live with those decisions too." And then
Yep.
that's when you see Crosshair with like a look on his face, like,
And then he's
see,
like also looking at all the memorial of everyone that has gone.
right. And so, um, and then after this,
That little scene, that little conversation was so impactful
right. And so
in this
based on
episode.
that, Crosshair is probably going to turn good now,
Yeah.
defect. But it was nice to see that a reg is the one that's getting to
That's
Crosshair.
why I really like that, because like I said earlier, like that brought this character that we actually all were supposed to hate. And now there's a redemption arc for a character that we honestly didn't know / needed a redemption arc for this character. Like we already counted him as a bad guy forever. And now we have this redemption arc of this character. And he's also helping this other character change that a lot of people besides Jeremiah want a redemption arc for. So I think it's really cool how they're going about that story.
Yeah.
Because even his own brothers couldn't do it, couldn't bring him to come back. But then like his other brothers, who he thought would never have gone that way, is forcing him to think about it more. And I think that that whole end scene of last season really pushed him to think about it more too, because he was he was there for like 30 days, like a month, sitting on this like thing trying to survive, and no one came to even think about trying to get him. It'd be cool if we saw flashbacks on how he got off.
That'd be cool. I
It's
don't know
not
if
necessary,
do
but
they do flashbacks in kid shows.
it's not a kid show.
I know, but
You just said it.
like, I don't think we ever like flashbacks in an animation
Think.
type thing. Like, I think we see like a few flashbacks in Clone Wars, but like they're very rare. And I don't think we didn't really have much of that in Rebels. I think Ezra had a couple like flashbacks when he was like with his parents, but that was more like a dream type thing.
They're using a lot more flashbacks now in Star Wars than they ever have before. So
I don't know. We'll see. But this episode,
and maybe it's not flashback. Maybe it's like a night terror,
a dream, that'd be
yeah,
cool,
like a Boba Fett kind of thing.
right? The back to tank.
Back in the tank.
It's him recovering from the 30 days is in a back to tank, and that's when he has his flashbacks.
Well, I was just thinking more like anytime he's in his room by himself, because he's
Right.
pondering and thinking about all that stuff. So it'd be cool if she can like
Yeah,
they
because
like zoom into his head and then you get it.
well, because he's right after that scene with Cody, he's back in his room, and it's like he wakes up.
It's like pitch black in there, and
Yeah, he wakes up and then he goes to breakfast again.
Mhm.
He sits down, and then he gets
This time
called.
he's in his uniform though.
Right, but then he gets called into Rampart's office again. So he like twice in 2 days. He's in the middle of a meal. He can't even finish his meal, and he gets called in to like
Mhm.
to go on a mission. Like I'm like, bro, just let the guy finish a meal. Like
Yeah. He survived 30 days without eating. He can go another 2.
I don't know. But Rampart is sending Cody on another mission.
No.
Or Crosshair on another mission. Crosshair, Cody, same thing, same letter.
Oh, true.
But
I was like, what?
but he tells Crosshair that
Well, no,
your
Crosshair's like,
commander,
oh,
your
not.
commander is going to be CT so and so,
Yeah.
and Crosshair's like, well, what happened to Cody? And Rampart's like, who's Cody? Oh, CT 2221 or whatever it was,
Whatever the number is.
and he's like, oh, him. He went AWOL. It's kind of interesting, that all these clones defect, when they're around you. Like him, like making shots. Like, are you faithful to us? Are you blah blah blah? But I don't know. Crosshair was kind of surprised that
Yeah.
Cody. So he goes AWOL. So we don't know what that means. Like AWOL is like like a defecting, but like what happened? Like how did that? I want to see that flashback.
Well, yeah, from Cody's perspective.
Because like, how do
'Cause
you
he's not
leave
in
that military
Rebels.
base? Like, how do you like just leave? Like, you can't just.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm
And
going to Chipotle
and
for
it,
my lunch break.
well, and
Like,
another thing is it wasn't like a mass exit. Like no one knew that he went AWOL,
right,
So it was very interesting. And it was quick.
right.
Unless it wasn't 2 days apart. Maybe it was like a week and we don't know, but it seemed like it was pretty quick that that night he left.
So okay, this is like a little side note, like a fun fact. So I didn't know that AWOL was an acronym because when I watched it with the subtitles, they're all capital letters. I'm like, oh, it's an acronym. Do you know what AWOL stands for? AWOL.
I should know this.
You give up.
Yeah.
It's absent without official leave.
Oh yes.
Which is kind of like anticlimactic. Like, AWOL, he went AWOL. Like whenever you see in the news,
Well,
like
because
this guy
it
went
is
AWOL,
supposed to
like it
be
means like crazy, like violent type of thing. But here it's just like,
but most of the time in like military,
right, in military terms,
that's
but
what it means. Like he left his post without permission, and so he could have went AWOL and he already was arrested, and he's in a prison right now.
That is true.
Like he could have was like leaving and they found him,
But I'm really hoping to see him.
I think we'll see him with the Cody.
I hope that he stole his old yellow armor, and he finds Rex, and Rex has his blue armor, and they're like team up, and that'd be so cool.
I am pretty sure he painted his yellow armor gray.
He ain't got to paint. He ain't got time for that. They issue new armor.
I don't know.
You really think the Empire is going to have Arts and Crafts Day for the...
I do, because of this reason, that the other clones that landed were all in different helmets, but his group wasn't. And that's why I think
I think it's just because he's like a leader, like a squad leader. He has different...
No, but all his other guys didn't. All his other boys were still in clone attire, was old, and they just painted.
I don't think they're painted. I think it's just...
Well, they're all gray.
Okay, but you can still make gray armor.
I know, but it looked like
all the armor was originally...
It even had like his weird antenna off his shoulder. I'm pretty sure he just painted it, bro.
I don't think...
Painted gray because it was more...
I don't think the Empire allows for that kind of thing. They're all about order, and like everyone's going to have the same thing. Like,
yeah, but Crosshair doesn't. He wears all black. No one else is wearing all black.
He's a special ops guy. Like he has his own group of.
Hey, they were balling on a little budget at first before they got those new helmets that came in. So like, all right, we're going all white. Paint your stuff white. Commander, you can pick a gray color out of this palette.
Right.
Uh,
But Drew, we have some breaking news
oh, whoa. Really? Oh, wait.
from Lucy.
Breaking
So
news.
let's take a listen for a little commercial break from our friend Lucy.
Hey everyone, Lucy here from Wild Space Channel 66, and I'm pleased to tell you that we've received a distress signal. Well, that part's not pleasant, but what is great is that you can help. According to this group of individuals, a Star Wars audio drama was created by Empire Radio listeners sending in voicemails. It's all original, it's all entertaining, and it's all audio and no visuals. That's where you come in. They need you listeners to send in your own art to illustrate these voicemails. You don't need to be super experienced, and you choose the medium. Some examples include Lego, digital art, painting, and black melon sculptures? That's a new one. Anyways, the process is super easy. Just look in the description for a link that will take you straight to a Google Doc. Inside, you will find clear and helpful instructions on how to submit your art. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it. But yes. So, how long do you think it's going to take for Crosshair to become AWOL himself? To go
End of the season.
You think it's going to be like the last episode, the last couple episodes, or
Probably the last couple episodes.
really? Because it's like if he's having this change of heart, like is he going to continue like being a bad guy for the Empire?
I think so. What I was thinking and predicting for this episode is that what's going to happen is because they are going to order this new thing, he's going to get these bad soldiers that are going to volunteer, and he's going to miss all his clones, and because all these other clones are leaving. Because something that I don't think we mentioned in the beginning was he went to go sit by 2 clones for breakfast the first time, and they got up. They were talking about something, and they got
the
up.
Recruitment bill.
They were talking about that, and they both looked at him and they left. They walked away. So it made it seem like they're probably gonna go AWOL, or there's gonna be a point where they're gonna get rid of these clones, or they might start killing them off.
I think we are gonna see clones being mass killed.
Yeah, so I think once that happens, that might push him over the edge. If not, I think these new recruitments that are gonna suck. He's not gonna like it, and then he's gonna miss his soldiers, and then he's gonna realize what the Empire is actually doing.
Right. We find the reason he goes AWOL is because he doesn't want to train the new guys.
Like that's the only reason.
It's like at work, like everyone's done it where like there's a new hire and like you have to like
everyone's like, oh man,
gosh,
a new dude.
We gotta like train him in. Like that's always the worst.
I'm going through that right now.
Yeah.
It's a new manager, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even the manager, and I'm training you how to be a manager. This is stupid.
Bro, why didn't you apply for that manager job then?
I don't want it. No. Because I am in a different department technically already. So he's a floor manager, and I'm a roasting head of roasting. So it's a little different.
Roasting master.
Head of roasting.
Is that different than a master roaster?
No.
I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like they have to like have him go AWOL.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe like in the next few episodes, like before a halfway point, and then we just don't see him for like till like the last few episodes or something.
He comes back and saves the day.
Something like that. Like,
I'm down for that. If he just runs away, and then like last episode, the Bad Batch is pinned in the corner, and then all of a sudden,
right,
people just start getting gunned down, and Crosshair saves the day, and he apologizes, and then they all escape, or they all blow up, and that's the end of the show.
That is possible. I think, like, I wonder if,
or he sacrifices himself at the end and dies.
Well, I'm guessing what's going to happen is he's going to stay along with the Empire because he'll probably need intel through the Empire to find the Bad Batch. And so, like, if he can stick around and then, he gets wind that, like, oh, the Bad Batch are on this planet and, like, the Empire is sent to go to him, like, go capture them or kill them. Like, that's what would be his way to find them. And then while they're, like, pinned down, then that's when he would.
Yeah, I'm just so confused by this part because, like, at what point are they gonna find out that the Bad Batch is still alive and what's his name's not gonna get in trouble for it?
I
You
think.
know what? He could pin that on Crosshair.
Oh, right. That's what he's going to. I think that's what he wants to do. Because he knows that. Because he said last episode, if Tarkin finds out, that gets his career on the line.
So what if he pins it on Crosshair and then Crosshair ends up?
I think that's his, like,
and
backup plan.
That might be why he actually leaves, is because
He's framed. Or
Rampart-
he's not really framed, but, like, because it's so
yeah,
true.
kind of.
But because I think Rampart's whole plan is to find the Bad Batch and have him killed without Tarkin ever knowing.
Mhm.
And so be interesting.
I'm curious. I'm in. I'm ready to go. I think this show, there's a lot of questions that I didn't think we were gonna have questions for. Like a lot of things that, like, I didn't go into the season like questioning the loyalty between Crosshair and the Empire. Really, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what I was thinking. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. I like this story that they're going with.
Right? And
Now if he does nothing, and this whole episode was like a waste, he doesn't actually end up trying to change, I don't know. So at this point, it very much seems like he's questioning everything.
right.
And they're not going to do that to us for no reason.
Right.
So
I just don't know, like, if there is going to be a season 3 though. Like, we don't.
no,
haven't heard.
I don't know if I will.
I feel like they could just, get it done in 2 seasons. But, like, how do you do that without killing them all off at the end of the season?
Or they just leave for they just get a lot of money and then they just leave for what's her name's sake.
Omega's sake.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
like Cody just
like they're
tells
too
them- or,
significant
like,
of characters just to like
Rex tells them to like, you guys just need to go into hiding.
maybe, but I just feel like there's too big
And
of
take care
like
of her.
characters and powerful and capable to like
Yeah.
just have them retire on the
I
place.
just don't know how they'd be able to kill them off and everyone be okay with it.
I don't know. It is a kids show.
Sure, that's what I mean. I don't know.
But I don't know.
I'm
Well,
curious to see how this show's doing number wise.
Oh, you know what I saw? So I posted in the Discord. What's her name? So it was a fan drawing for a live action Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Florence, is it Pugh? She's the actress that plays Black Widow's sister.
Oh.
So that is a drawing of her. Can I like post an image in the Twitch chat? Is that
Not in the Twitch chat, but you could share your screen.
I don't know. I'm panicking here. I can't figure it out. I'll send it to you later, or I could have sent it to you in a Discord. But it looks really like spot on the way they did it, even though technically Omega's not supposed to be white. But
That's true.
But yeah, I thought it'd be cool live action. I want to see a live action. I still think she needs to show up in like the Book of Boba Fett season 2 or something like that, because she's Boba's twin sister. Like, they have to meet. Like, it's just, it has to happen.
That would be interesting. I
Like,
kind of want to pull it up now.
they have to meet. I can't imagine them not ever meeting.
Yeah.
And like, I think I always thought like Charlize Theron could be.
That's a sweet image, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just want to see Boba and Omega back to back fighting off
Yeah.
zombies or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's episode 3, the solitary clone, because
I mean,
Crosshairs.
we could get the entire Bad Batch in like Mando.
Dude, they'd be so old.
But Omega wouldn't be.
Omega wouldn't be. She'd be the same age as Boba, but
Like, we could get Omega.
I think we will eventually. But like, if the Bad Batch is about the same age as Rex, Rex is already a white-haired guy by time during, because I'm guessing we're gonna see him in
True.
the Ahsoka series.
I forget.
And he's gonna be an old guy with a
We
white
could get him in
beard.
the Ahsoka series too.
That's what I just said.
If they end up leaving, like if
Oh.
they go into hiding, and then they decide to come out after the war is over,
Possibly.
and you just like all of a sudden you see like a door's jammed, and then out of
You
the
see
woodwork,
Echo just.
Echo's like, I got it, and then he unlocks.
I
it,
haven't
and
done
that's
anything
it.
for 20 years. Let me
That's
open this
all
door
we
for
get is,
everybody.
like, Ahsoka just land on this one remote, desolate planet, and the door is jammed, and she can't open it, and then you have him unlock it, and that's it. That's all we get.
Do you think
that.
What about Cody? What happens to Cody? Because he's not a lot. We don't have him in Rebels with.
So he's not dead, right?
We don't know.
Canon wise,
no. But like, when Rampart was like, "Oh, he went AWOL," does that mean he actually went AWOL, or is Rampart just saying, "Oh, I killed him"?
that's what I don't know.
But like, if Cody's still alive,
We're still like about it.
I'm
like,
sure if we look at the trailer, he's probably in other scenes that we just.
No,
don't
I
remember.
looked.
He's not in
He's
there.
not. I don't think we see him anymore.
But it's like, what happens to Cody? Does he? I'm guessing he's gonna meet up with Rex. Like, I think that's just what's gonna happen. But like, does Cody die like in this series because we don't see him like in Rebels with Rex, Wolf, and Gregor? Like, if Cody was still alive, like, he'd be with
we
that
haven't
crew.
Seen Wolf and Gregor yet, right?
No.
Do we know if they went AWOL yet?
I don't remember.
What if that's the next commander? Is like Wolf.
Possibly.
And then he goes missing, and then everyone he just keeps going, and he keeps making these generals leave right after. I don't know. It's interesting.
But no, we saw Gregor last season.
Yeah,
he was the one training the stormtroopers. That's yeah. So now we got to catch Wolf, which I don't think we saw. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm guessing like, when all these clones meet up with each other, you know what they got to do? Sit around a table.
Probably just drink some tea.
Drink some tea, maybe some coffee.
Maybe some coffee.
I feel like what kind of coffee do you think Rex drinks? I feel like he's a straight black.
Rex is like straight shot of espresso, man.
No, he's straight like
shot of
black,
espresso,
straight black coffee, nothing added to it. Gregor, he's the one. He's a little crazy. He has that unicorn frappuccino from
Oh yeah.
Starbucks. But let's take a listen to our sponsor for today, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. So let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And if you really like Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, during Empire Con,
True.
that first night, Friday, we're going to have a meet and greet at Wesley Andrews. So
come to Empire Con.
Empire Con, join the Discord.
We need like Lucy to do some Empire Con ads now.
That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea. Lucy, if you're listening, send me some commercials.
Yep.
But yes, we sent out a survey for people to take in the Discord who think they will attend. And so if you want to put your insight in, if you want to come, give us your insight, and it'll help us plan out that whole weekend. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later, but EmpireCon, August 2023. So anything else, Drew, about this episode before we transition over to voicemail time?
No, I'm excited to see you next week. I'm pretty sure next week is going to be Bad Batch crew heavy, not really Crosshair again.
Right. Right. All right. Cool. So let's transition over.
It's voicemail time.
All right. Fun. So we have 3 voicemails, and then we have, I think, 2 questions from Elias that he emailed in. So let's do Elias's first question. Wait, so I'm a little confused, so we can kind of answer this question 2 different ways. But here's my question: which lightsaber combinations would you add to the upcoming Jedi Survivor game if you could? So lightsaber combinations. So is that like? I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Well, because in Jedi Fallen Order you can build.
There's that, or like I thought maybe like fighting styles, but if it's just the lightsaber itself,
No, I think it's like lightsaber itself.
I really like the curved hilt that like Dooku and Ventress have.
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be really cool
to have that as like something you can build.
Right, but I also think with like a lightsaber centric game, they should make it so that what you do has an effect on the actual fight style. Because like
that'd be sick. So if you play like dual wield, or if you have like a single lightsaber,
because like there was that where like you could do a single blade, you could do dual blades, or you could have the double saber.
Could you do dual blades? I don't remember that.
Yeah, because once you get the double blade, you can separate them having 2 hands.
Can you pulse like a?
Okay, it's been a while. I know you could do some combos with them separate, so I don't know if it was just a combo. I don't think
you could always just walk around with them separate though.
I can't remember, but I know there was combos where you would do slice in opposite directions, like across. I remember doing that a lot.
I would love to like have it where he had dual blades like Ahsoka though, like
right,
like her combinations and the way she does it like separately, like one would face completely different directions. Like that'd be cool. But I mean, I feel like they did a lot. The only combination I would feel like they haven't done is like something like a spinning one. Like you could do so much in that game, you know. So it's like I don't
Yeah,
know.
because you see the Inquisitors,
Maybe
they have the spinny ones, but you don't
maybe
get to
have
use it.
a Ezra,
Like a blaster, that'd be
the
cool.
blaster saber, where you can choose to shoot people farther away and block and cut people close. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I still need to get a PlayStation
I
5.
still need to finish that first one.
You're never gonna finish that first
Yeah,
one.
no.
Because that game comes out in like 2
It's a
months.
month, 2
It's like
months.
March 15th or something like that. So I gotta find a PlayStation 5, maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully it doesn't get delayed.
Nah, if it was delayed, it'd be delayed by now. They would have said it by now. They usually don't wait like right before. Sorry, it's usually like a couple months before or
Mhm.
6 months before. Like, sorry, we're gonna delay it another year or
Yeah.
something. So, but they've been working on it for quite a while. So I think it's
Yeah.
far enough into the production for it to not be delayed. But did you know that there's like a book that precedes the events of this second game?
Ooh, that's cool.
Because I think this is so. The first game is 5 years after Order 66,
Mhm.
and this game is an additional 5 years. So like it takes the
Oh.
book is what takes place between the two games,
Oh,
and
that's
it,
cool.
and it comes out like a week or two before the game itself. So
Dude, I'm down. I feel like
look
I'd
at Will's
rather-
comment. My 6-year-old cousin got a PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
That's a weird flex.
But yeah, so that'd be cool.
I think that would be a cool book to read.
Yeah.
I need a new Star Wars book to read.
So, well, we should probably get started on that second Thrawn trilogy soon.
Yeah.
I just wish we could get a release date for Ahsoka. Because then, like, that would give me, like, a benchmark. Okay, I need to have these books done by this time.
Yeah, it's weird because even like the ads for like Disney Plus, it's like things that are coming on 2023, and then it's like just her face. Like there's like nothing to it.
'Cause I'm
Like
guessing...
I have a feeling it's gonna
Well,
be like
there's-
December or something, 2023.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be this summer.
I know it's supposed to be, but
And I think Skeleton Crew is in the fall/holiday season. But I don't know.
because they haven't shown anything from that at all.
Skeleton Crew, they had like 2 like scenes. Like, it was like a picture of like Jude Law, just like hiding, like.
Oh, really? I didn't even see those.
But like it's not even. It's just like a picture of Jude Law standing in the dark. Like it's
Yeah, but it's not
nothing.
in like the ad at all. So yeah, you're probably right. It's probably gonna be
Because
like,
there was like that thing, like a 30-second commercial, and there's a scene where Ahsoka takes off her like hood or something.
yep. That like commercial is like still like on every Hulu commercial thing.
Yeah.
Like Disney Plus. So
But okay, Elias. Hopefully that answered your
yeah, hopefully that's what you meant. That's the way I took it.
yeah. But yeah, the curved hilt. Like I think that'd be really
That'd be cool. That's
Cool.
different. Or
all right.
cane hilt.
Cane hilt, like Maul
Mm-hmm.
and Rebels has his saber like a cane. All right, so here's an interesting question. He says from Elias, who would win, Marvel or Star Wars? In this situation, both factions get every character and every vehicle from the whole timeline, canon or non-canon. So everything
Wars.
ever made about Star Wars versus everything ever made in Marvel.
Star Wars.
I don't know, dude. I think Marvel would win. They have more superpowers.
Do they though?
Yeah. You have all the X-Men, all the Avengers, all the villains. Every single thing. Like,
We have Palps though.
you also have to consider you have an infinite amount in the MCU of characters because there's an infinite amount of universes.
No, this is dumb. Now, see, you're going too far with
I'm
this.
not going too far. This is the rules that Elias
That
set
is
up.
dumb. That's so stupid. Well, we have the world between worlds, so
That is true. But the MCU has like
we also have clones that we can just like keep letting them kill over and over and over again.
I don't know. I feel like there's
There's
more
no way
variety in
that-
Marvel. That like you'd have to like specialize in killing every single hero and villain in
Okay,
MCU.
I want him to write back next week with more parameters because it's a little bit too. Because we also have EU Luke. Apparently, he was OP.
I don't know.
And we have like Darth Raven and like, dude, there's so many. You've been watching a little bit too much Marvel and not enough Star Wars, the old stuff, man. There's so many stuff. And our ships, we could just freaking blow up the Earth and then call it good. You didn't think about that.
Okay. The
We had the
MCU
Death
is not just
Star.
on our planet. Like there's
No, I'm just saying we had the Death Star. So Earth, peace out. See you
yeah,
next-
but MCU if one person gets the Infinity Gauntlet, you just snap your fingers, and everyone in Star Wars is destroyed.
True, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
I don't know. Sorry, Star Wars, but my money's on
My money's on Star Wars. That should be the comment.
who. That will be the question on Spotify. Who would
Yeah,
win?
go on
All
Spotify and vote. We should go back and reread those things. When
I
people-
do.
We should recap next week. All right, everyone that's listening, if you're not listening on Spotify, you're listening on YouTube,
Join the
comment,
Discord and tell us,
or join the Discord and tell us.
or send in a voicemail with your thoughts on who you would think would win.
True.
So
Yeah, the voicemails don't just have to be questions; they could be your opinion on,
your opinion on something. That's a review of like a book, like a quick like 30
or even
second,
this episode.
or yeah.
So
Yeah, we used to get people like sending in voicemails about like what they thought of the episode.
yeah, we need
This-
people to do that again.
All right. Well, those are the 2 questions from Elias. Thank you, Elias, for those questions. But now we also have 3 voicemails. So let's listen to the first one from Addie, who has some big news.
Ooh,
Hello, everyone. It's Addie back at you with another voicemail. Now, I have an amazing / so exciting announcement. I have now officially posted my very own podcast. The title is Jedi Archives, and you can listen to it now on Spotify. The first episode title, About Me, and I would love it if y'all could send in a voicemail. Anyone and everyone can. I hope you all have an awesome day, and may the Force be with you. Bye!
that's cool. That's a cool name.
I looked it up and I did listen to her first episode. It was just like an about me, like telling about
Mhm.
herself. So that's fun. I look forward to seeing things that you work on in the future. So if you're listening, go support Addie. She's great. Follow her podcast.
That's
It'd
a
be fun
cool name, dude. How did we not come up with that name?
because
How
the
has
whole
no one come up with that yet?
I don't know.
Jedi Archives? That's so cool. Good name pick.
I
That's
feel like you like it better than Empire Radio. Like
kind of. I mean, I take pride in Empire Radio because I came up with that without like little to no effort.
did you come up with it or did I come up with it?
I think
I remember we were brainstorming names in the car ride after that first interaction with Andrew,
True.
and I can't remember who said Empire Radio first because like we were
I
like,
did.
there's Rebel Force Radio.
Wait,
like,
don't
we have
tell
to-
them they're gonna sue us, bro.
Yeah, bring us all this extra like attention, news, like
Yeah,
a
dude,
lawsuit.
Jeremiah wants to get sued right now.
Yeah, sue us so we can get more famous. But yeah, Rebel Force
All
Radio. Like,
publicity is good publicity.
yeah. So, all right. Thank you, Addie. Congratulations on starting that. Looks like it'll be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah.
But this next voicemail is from a first-time sender,
Ooh.
and it's a good question and a good information. So let's take a
It's
listen
a real
from.
person, not like
Yes, it's a real person.
not like Jeremiah's third mic in the corner or something.
No.
All right, sweet. Let's go.
From if you look on right there, my subwoofer,
Yeah,
Jeremiah
that's your-
subwoofer, right
don't
there.
give them ideas.
Someone's like low voice says it. Okay, but
Oh.
let's listen to a voicemail from Jeremy.
Ooh.
Hey guys, Jeremy here, sending in my first ever voicemail. I have been watching you guys for I think 3 years now, but I've just never bothered to join the Discord or send in a message. But I'm finally getting around to doing it. Probably in the next couple of days, I'll be in the Discord. I don't know about watching you guys live because of my work schedule, but whenever I can catch you, I'll definitely pop in. But my question for you guys is, how do you think Ahsoka's story will end? Do you think she'll pass away of old age? Do you think she'll get killed off by a new powerful enemy, or maybe an old powerful enemy? Do you think maybe it'll just be a mystery and she'll just kind of disappear? Me personally, I'm not too sure which one I would want. She's one of my favorite characters. I don't really know how I would want to see her go out. But what do you guys think? How do you think her story will come to an end?
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
Solid voicemail. Your mic sounds.
Yeah, like, are you? Do
100.
you have your own podcast? Like,
Yeah, like 100% on the mic. That's a good question. That's a hard question. We
So-
know that she's in episode 9 and she's not
So-
dead.
she's what?
She's
In
not
episode
dead.
Not okay. Well, there's the debate on that because in episode 9, when Rey is having her moment of hearing all the different voices of Jedi, like it implies when you watch the scene, it implies that these are all dead Jedi.
Mhm.
But like Dave Filoni did make a comment, like, well,
Mhm.
not necessarily.
But didn't he say that she isn't dead? I think Throttle said she wasn't dead.
Well, maybe he said that, but he originally
Pretty
said
sure-
that.
I think even JJ said that not all of those Jedis were dead.
Right, but nothing was said specifically about her from like that I remember, other than
Mm.
just because they're speaking doesn't mean that
I
they're
don't
dead.
think she's dead. I'm gonna
But
go
like,
with what Dave Filoni
but the thing
said.
is though, like at that point she's classified as a Jedi because Rey is seeking the Jedi to speak to her. So it's like, what exactly is Ahsoka? If she was no longer a Jedi, but she's now considered a Jedi in that scene. Like, is that just a weird canon thing that J.J. Abrams didn't know what he was doing, which is possible with that movie? But like, so I have thought about
or
this
does she
question.
become a Jedi through Luke?
Possibly,
Because we know she interacts with Luke.
she becomes like officially knighted by Luke.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe she sees the way Luke is going with it and she wants to be a Jedi. And then everything goes to the crapper and then she goes into hiding again.
Possibly. But I have thought about this question a lot on how I want her story to end. Like, I don't want it to be like a Obi-Wan Kenobi thing where she sacrifices herself to like while she's like training. So like, I don't. That's too cliche, too stupid. So
Yoda.
what I want her to do is, so she has this connection with the sister / Morai the owl, and I want like Ahsoka to like ascend to like this spiritual self where she kind of like becomes the sister in a sense, like where she enters like some forced spiritual realm where she's kind of like she becomes like a Mortis
That
god.
would be cool because she technically wouldn't be dead.
She wouldn't be dead.
And
She
she'll
would
be
have.
able to.
It's like she would take the place of the sister because she's only alive because the sister gave her living force or whatever to Ahsoka. So like there is that connection with the sister that I feel like I want that where she ascends to that like level. Kind of like if you've watched, spoiler alert, if you've seen Legend of Korra, but like Uncle Iroh didn't die. He just entered the spiritual realm and he drinks tea with all these like crazy spiritual like spirit animals and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be cool if she like she doesn't die, but she becomes one with the Force by becoming like a spiritual entity of some sort.
Dude, I'm distracted by my own thoughts.
Like, I just don't know how
What?
you could kill her. Like, people would
No, you can't.
like.
It's either that or want her to be like Yoda, and she just like joins the Force. Like she's old, she just disappears.
Right, because she's 5 years younger than Anakin, and so Anakin is what, mid to upper 40s by when he dies. So she's early 40s when the original trilogy ends, and so
How far is
plus
7
30
and 9?
years between the trilogies, like
Yeah.
to the sequel trilogy. So she would be early 70s during the sequel trilogy. So like,
How?
I think Togrutas are kind of
Yeah,
like a
like-
human age, like they kind of age the same
Okay.
as humans, but like I think they've said like Force sensitive can live a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But that's my answer, Jeremy.
Also, dude, I was thinking about what if? How cool would it? There's always this conversation like, what can they do different with episode 8? What if when Rey went and saw Luke was like that, and then she walks away, like she leaves, goes to, doesn't know what to do, and then Ahsoka is actually the one that ends up training her, like a girl on girl, like the connection would have been so so unique and so cool. I think there's just so many.
Post episode 9, it'd be cool if Rey and Ahsoka met.
That'd be cool if Rey is the one that, or Ahsoka is the one that keeps training Rey. But we're never gonna see post 9, dude. I don't think Disney ever wants to.
No, there's been rumors that they're working on post 9 stuff, like
as a 10.
Not necessarily a episode 10, but like stuff that would continue with characters that we've met. That's quite a ways away, though. There's so many other things that they're working on that they've already.
Dude, imagine that if like Ahsoka was the one that ended up training, or if like Luke was there with Ahsoka, and then Luke's like, "I'm not going to train you," and then Ahsoka's like, "I will." Oh, dude, freaking Ryan Johnson. Okay, let's go to the next voicemail. I don't want to think about this.
Well, thank you, Jeremy, for your first voicemail. We'd love to hear from you again. And definitely,
honestly, we just got a new follow on Twitch, and I wonder if that was them.
I don't know, but I don't think
he joined the Discord yet.
I don't think so. There's one individual that did join the Discord this week, but was less knowledgeable on Star Wars than Jeremy seems to be. So I don't think that new person that joined Discord was Jeremy. So just Jeremy, join the Discord. Hey, check out EmpireCon. Maybe come to the con. It'd be cool because
3 years is a long time.
So I'm guessing because we've been working close to 3 years for Empire Radio, but we had the Mandalorian podcast. So I wonder if Jeremy was from the Mandalorian podcast, was a fan.
He jumped over.
Because we have some of those, like Sydney from Cinemakery, who I did that thing with last year. Like, she has been a fan of us since the Mandalorian. Then we had like Daniel Contreras was a Mandalorian fan. So I wonder how many people, if you're listening, how many of you came over from the Mandalorian podcast? Like, that'd be cool to know.
Yes.
But yes, Jeremy, thanks again for all that. Really good question. But last voicemail from Will, and he specifically said we have to keep this one for the last one.
Did you listen to it?
I did.
Okay, well.
So let's take a listen from Will.
Empire Radio, Will here. I don't really have a question, but if you could play this voicemail last, that would be wonderful. Because, oh boy, do I have a message for you folks. I don't have a message. Never mind. Jeremiah, take it away. Yeah.
Oh, he got you, Drew. You got excited.
I thought he was gonna say join the Discord and come to EmpireCon 2023. That's what he should have done. What I just did.
Yep.
Come on, Will.
But yes, thanks, Will, for that. But that's a good transition to EmpireCon stuff. So yes, we probably should have mentioned it a little bit earlier because I know a lot of people don't listen this far into the episode. But thank you for listening. If you make it this far, you're a good and faithful fan. But it's not going to insult anyone if they don't bring us this far. They're not going to hear it. So I can say it, right?
True. No, you're right.
But yes, EmpireCon. I mentioned earlier how in the Discord we have a survey for those who think that you are going to come, or you have a strong you're really going to try and come, because we just want to see what people actually want to do, because we don't want to plan let's make some quilts and you guys don't want to do it. We want to
I don't even want to do that.
we want to do stuff that you guys want to do, and it'll help us plan out. We already said we were going to have a Wesley Andrews meet and greet.
Yes, that is
Friday night. We're going to do that the 18th of August. And then on that Sunday, we're kind of finish off with a Mall of America thing. So it's that Saturday is kind of like what we're trying to really plan out. So we have a bunch of ideas, but let us know. We want to know people's budgets, because if people are only going to be spending a little bit, we don't want to plan expensive events. But if people are yeah, I'm going to spend $1 million, okay, we'll do some little extra things. So
here's our Cash App number.
Yeah, so go take that survey if you think you are going to put some effort into coming. Obviously, if you're not going to come, don't take the survey. But
sure.
Yes. But if you want to join, come. But if you want to join the Discord, all you got to do is go in the description of wherever you're listening. There's a links.co/Empire Radio. Click on that. It's a landing page for everything. And in there is an invite for the Discord. And so join the Discord. We have a lot of cool conversation, a lot of fun people. So definitely, you can be of any range of Star Wars knowledge. You can be new to Star Wars. You can be a veteran to Star Wars. We're all are welcome, and we're all there to be friends and family and help each other understand and love Star Wars. So, but also in that landing page, there is the link for the voicemail. Send in a voicemail, but also if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, needlesslynerdy.com, which is a podcast network that we're part of, which is growing more and more. There's probably 6 or 7 podcasts now part of that, and
I think so.
we got a bunch of people that are doing articles. So I know Retta and Brady, they do articles, and then someone just got added on. Just kind of someone who was looking to just do some independent writing. She joined too. So if you want to learn about some article stuff by reading things like people's different opinions on different topics about nerdy stuff, come on over, join the needlesslynerdy.com podcast network. I think that's everything in the landing page.
Yeah, I think that's
a fan email, Empire Radio.
Yeah, if you don't want to send voicemails like you heard in the beginning, people can send in emails and we'll read them off as questions as well.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Drew?
3-year listeners out there, send in voicemail.
Yeah.
We already got someone that led by example today, so let's get more of those.
And when you reach out to us, rank your Empire Radio hosts from least favorite to
okay, all right. What the junk is this?
Who is your favorite host?
There's 2 people that are not here anymore.
Yeah, everyone says Andrew and Josiah. Yeah. All right, Drew, anything else before we sign off for tonight?
Nope, that's it. I'm excited for next week. Episode 4 already.
All right, cool. Well, you have been listening to another Empire Radio episode. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.